Have you ever wanted to learn to cook but just didn't know where to start?
Well, we're the guys from Sorted Food and we've teamed up with Co-op to create Now Cook It.
A free online course to show you how to up your food game.
So head over to Now Cook It to get started, but for now, check out this video from the course.
Raisin oatmeal cookies. Now, loads of people say that baking is hard work, but this recipe proves these people wrong. It's quick, it's easy, it's all done in one bowl, so therefore there's hardly any washing up either.
All you need is a decent set of scales and a big bowl, and everything else you weigh straight out of the cupboard. So, the flavours here, raisin and oatmeal with a bit of orange and vanilla, so really fresh and fragrant. So the first thing we need to do is take our raisins, which is a generous handful, about 100 grams, but literally a good handful, and because they're dried fruit, they have a tendency to burn in the oven before the cookies cook. So if you've ever eaten a cookie, or a scone or something like that, and it's got a burnt raisin, the problem is it's too dried. So we're going to rehydrate our raisins with orange juice, and just the juice of an orange over our raisins, and it's just enough to start to rehydrate them and add another element of fragrance and flavour. And then everything else happens in this one big bowl. So place it on a set of scales, turn it on and set it to 0. We can place in 60 grams of softened butter, reset it to 0, and then we're going in with the sunflower oil. All the wet stuff going in, so a little teaspoon of vanilla extract.
I've never quite understood the rule of mixing all the wet stuff and then all the dry stuff.
It just makes life easier because we're going to whisk all this up and then we fold in the dry stuff. So it's just an easy all-in-one method. 1 egg, 50 grams of honey, and then into all of that we're also going to add the sugar so we can whisk that together and cream it all. So reset it to 0 again, and then the brown sugar can go in. Soft brown sugar is going to make your life easier, but you could use Demerara, or in fact any brown sugar you've got. And that's it. All you need to do now is a bit of elbow grease, whisk that up.
And now you give it to me, thank you very much.
You want to whisk it to get rid of any lumps there might be in the brown sugar and to make sure the butter is evenly dispersed, which is why your butter should be soft and at room temperature. If it's not, 10 seconds in a microwave will sort that right out. Put it back on the scales and reset it to 0. And now the dry stuffs. Little pinch of cinnamon, baking powder, which is our raising agent, and then you want to weigh in 120 grams of flour, and then 240 of oats, plus the raisins without too much of the orange. So basically just get your fingers in and just scoop the raisins out, leaving most of the orange juice in there, and they've just softened slightly. Mix it all together, and that is the cookie dough done. Because you're using twice as many oats as flour by weight, it's a really, really awesome cross between a cookie and a flapjack, really. So, so good. All we've done is taken 2 baking trays and lined them with baking paper right to the edges, and we've preheated an oven to 175 degrees Celsius.
We make an ice cream now.
And now an ice cream scoop. You could use a tablespoon or 2 if you've got them, but I find this really easy.
Ben's just got a new toy that he wants to play with.
It's not a new toy, this is my parents'.
Oh, okay.
And I stole it. So Mum, Dad, I'll bring it back at some point. Basically, you want to take an ice cream scoop and just do that. What it means is you always end up with very even cookies. About 5 per tray because they will spread out.
They're going to spread out a lot because they're going to dip and then rise.
And then what you want, with a slightly damp finger, just press it out to about 1 centimetre thickness. This batch makes 15 cookies this size. If you haven't got 3 trays, then just do 2 trays, cook them off, and then rebatch them. Good flattening techers. And then these are going to go into our preheated oven, 175 degrees Celsius, for 14 minutes. Quite precise, but basically you want it golden all over. They will still be soft because of the honey and the oil, so then you need to let them cool before you can slide them off the tray. Once these have come out of the oven, give them 15 minutes or so to harden up before you transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. When they're cool, you can store them in an airtight container for up to a week and just grab them whenever you go. But there you go, everything you need to know to make raisin and oatmeal cookies. Look at that.
Ah, and it's the perfect eating temperature. Just pulls apart.
Chewy and gooey.
Right, I need a cup of tea.
Or a glass of milk.
I'm not 6 years old.
And not a burnt raisin inside.
If you want the full recipe and the ingredients, you can get that all down below. Yeah, very Moorish.